Oh, jeez. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Ride Mechanic channel. How the heck are you doing today? Thank you for coming and watching another video. Okay, I know it's off-season time and we don't have much going on, but some people are going out there, still going to parks. Parks are still open, and they're still catching stuff on video. So, when that happens, I make videos because people catch some interesting things on videos, and today is no exception, so let's get right into it.
Now get ready, here we go.
Alright, if this is your first time here, make sure you like and subscribe, do that stuff downstairs, like, share, comment, all those things. It does help me out, I do appreciate it. Okay, a fellow subscriber sent me in this video link and they said, hey, I was watching this channel. They did a vlog about going to Indiana Beach, and it's entitled The Worst Park I've Ever Visited. That sounds like an interesting title right there by itself. So they pointed out two things that happened in this video that I want to see, but I honestly thinking about how I was going to do this video, and I'm like, you know what? I've never really done a reaction video to an entire vlog before. So I was thinking about doing that. I wanted to see how this was going to go. So the channel's name we're going to be looking at is The Next Outing. They've got 2,400 subscribers, so they're doing pretty good. Let's see if we can get them some more. Go to their channel and subscribe to their channel. Check out this video as well. Let's get right into this video. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, there we go. On with the video. Indiana Beach. Where is Indiana Beach?
Good morning, good afternoon.
Ma'am, you can't bring that Yeti. That cannot come in here.
This can't come in. It can't come in.
What can't come in?
Take it back to the car.
Take it back to your car.
Okay.
You got a key?
You can't bring that in clear water bottle.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm just taking both your tickets.
Are you scanned?
Yeah, we already stopped.
We got you. I'll remember you.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to double check, that's all.
Okay, if you leave the park,
The water bottles.
Perfect. Yeah.
The water bottles. It's always with the water bottles. Can't we just let people in with water bottles? Come on, folks.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Just
check.
let 'em
Just
in.
come back 10
Come
minutes,
on.
you don't know.
It's not that hard.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Well,
This
I'm
looks
in.
like a nice park.
Nikki needs to take her water bottle back to the car. It's not pay per ride here, which is amazing. Like,
And yet the other one would not care there.
yeah, very weird vibes in the first 10 minutes, isn't
Yeah, I
it?
didn't like that.
This
I
looks like
that,
a
though.
really
Look at the
interesting
water
park.
swings. The fouling off the edges, that's quite nice. Okay, we're gonna go on this one, the no
Oh,
one's gonna
Superstition
actually get on.
Mountain.
'Cause
I've
it's
heard
so
about
weird,
this
unique.
one.
The lost coast of Superstition Mountain. You sit in a cage.
I know now this started out as a, was it this one that started out as a dark ride and was modified to a coaster? Man, how quickly I've forgotten this already. Now, I know this coaster already looks sketchy. I understand it's an old coaster, but just the way they've got all the angle like welded together going up there, this looks like something I would build. Like, I've got a bunch of scrap angle sitting around. Let's go ahead and build this. Yeah, this looks like fun. That does look like fun, actually.
So this used to be a powered dark ride. In 2002, CCI converted it, so it's now using a lift. And it's basically a little wooden coaster, but because of the clearances, you have to sit in like these
Cage. It's a cage.
baskets essentially with a roof on.
Because you
Very
can't put your
interesting.
arms
Mine was
out.
different.
Remember the clearance envelope video? You can't put your arms out. Are those drive tires going up there? Must be. Talk about rickety looking. Did you see the wheel carriers underneath there? They're like, the axle was just like.
These are
gonna fall off.
See, you can do that, but you can't bring your water bottle in.
No, not have a water bottle.
No water bottle.
You know why? Because they're gonna make money off of that, and they won't make money if you bring your water bottle in. That's so stupid. I hate when parks do that. Just, hey, if it's alcohol you're worried about coming in the park, then let them bring an empty bottle in the park. Don't say no water bottles just so you can make more money off of selling water.
I will dehydrate today out of pure spite.
Dehydrate or dihydrate.
Always stay hydrated. Remember that. Look at all these rides over here, man. You got 2 Woodies. Maybe that's part of the same one. And the TIGRR. Tigger? Tiger? Tiger? Must be Tiger.
Should we go on Tiger?
Tiger.
Tiger.
Let's do it.
Is this a 1-car special? Have they got 1 car on this? I think they have.
The reviews on this aren't great.
That's an old Schwarzkopf.
It's a Schwarzkopf, isn't it? It's a Schwarzkopf. They're normally pretty good, aren't they? 1984 this has been going since. And it can run
84?
It can run 5 cars.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Man, that's classic Schwarzkopf right there. That also looks like something I built in my backyard. Oh my gosh. I hurt my neck watching the video. My neck hurts watching the video. Oh my gosh. Man, Schwarzkopf really was a pioneer in his time. You know, these are some of the first ones. I mean, not the first, not since the 80s. But as much as this looks rickety and janky, I love rides like that.
It's not intense on the first turn.
No. The other one.
Oh, more coasters should be built on top of restaurants.
We are on top of a restaurant here. Also, look, this car's
What-
just come in.
what is it
These
with
guys are gonna
people?
get out. This car is not loaded yet. And it will not be loaded until this
gotta-
car is fully stationary behind it.
Platen brake? Yep, platen brake.
So, it begs the question, what's the point of the second car?
There is no point.
There is no point in the second car. They obviously do that because that,
No.
at some point, has hurled that train into the back of that car, hasn't it?
Yeah,
That's what's actually happened.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Also, I'm pretty sure maybe it's maximum 2 adults because there's no kids in the line. It looks like it's maximum 2 adults. So currently this ride's operating on 2 people every 3 minutes.
No, man, that line
What
must
is that?
suck.
What is that, an hour? That's the smallest thing I've ever known an hour of any ride I've ever seen. I just did the maths. It's 40 people an hour this ride is currently doing.
Booster wheels pushing it.
40.
Okay.
Yeah. That is
So
crazy.
the thing had 5 cars at once? Like,
This
what are
feels
they
like it
doing?
sort of sums up the part, doesn't it?
Awesome. This one's an easy one to explain for people curious. So, see how the wood's really old. It's not so much rotted, but it's getting close to it. So the screws have come out of this a long time ago, and they probably put bigger screws in and bigger screws in. And because the wood's not structurally sound anymore, so it's just pulling the wood out every time they tighten something in there. So they probably got tired of the screws backing out at one point and just took the screws out of the thing. It's like not great. Personally, I would have been like, all right, screws keep coming out. Let's go for bolts with washers underneath there. But I guess they didn't want to do that.
So far. Just a bit broken.
Oh, jeez. Holy crap. Like, what the hell was that? Just full speed, just like boom. Oh, jeez. What? How the hell does it do that? Let's see. It's got a platen brake. It's lifting the coach up. What's that mean? If it's got a platen brake that lifts the coach up, didn't have sufficient braking force. No, they've been having sufficient braking force. We've watched several of these come in and do that. What's that mean? That means the platen brake isn't actuating right. It's not going up quick enough, or it's not making its up position sometimes. It probably means it's got a handful of worn out components in that thing.
And there it goes, there it goes, there it goes.
What are they doing? Oh my gosh, they're...
Oh, I'm so glad we got that, just because I've literally just filmed the clip and we're doing that.
This definitely looks like something I could build in the backyard. Definitely looks like it. But look at I mean, these roller coasters are not meant to be slamming into each other like that. I mean, I'm sure Schwarzkopf built them with a little bit of a bump in mind, but not impacts like that. Impacts like that really hammer on the wheel carriers, because when that hits forward, it's not like a car where it could jolt to the side or do something else. The whole thing tries to pick up and just messes up the wheel carriers.
Yeah, you said that. You literally said that. You literally said that. And let me guess, you can't send it empty. There'll be some of the daft rule, won't there? It's like you can't send it empty.
Whoa! What do you mean you can't send it? Look at the control panel. It's 5 buttons. How could you not send it? The operator probably just put their foot on the thing, kick it out. Done. Dispatch. Kick the thing back out of there. It's just on a drive wheel, and clearly it's already past the drive wheel, so this is so odd. All right. So this is such a normal thing that happens when it punts the coaster in front of it from behind. They just have to go up and like, well, we're just going to push it right back into the spot where it was. I mean, hell, you're not letting this. You're not loading the second coaster, so coach. So why not just push the first one out onto the lift hill and let it go, and just pull the second one back up? Clearly, they're not using it. Look at the state of this thing. Good Lord.
Now this one's stopped.
Jeez.
What's going on? What is happening here?
Oh my gosh.
Who sent it?
Did you
I think
see?
you were slightly worried. Oh, so you can load it. Oh, Nicky.
Did you see how much the platen brake moves? Watch how much the platen brake moves down here.
Who sent it? Nicky was slightly worried.
I bet you that thing is just hung up. Like when it comes up and down, and then like every once in a while the thing will just come up and kind of bind the last probably 8 millimeters and just kind of stop, and that coach just slides right over the top of that thing.
Oh, so you can load it. Oh, they've just done a staff change. They've literally just done a staff change. Right. I'm going to make sure on any other clips.
Did anyone tell the current staff coming on, like, by the way, it keeps crashing into the back of the first one, you might not want to load it?
It's blurred out. Because it's the same operator who's obviously come and done someone else's brake. This guy's done a brake. This wasn't the operator who's just been operating them.
That guy probably has he's got the qualification to not only let it impact, but he can probably use his foot and push it backwards and been like, now it's fine. Okay, so I'm editing this, and I was actually in contact with the Next Outing, and they actually had the explanation for this, which was really interesting. Sorry for pausing the video, but Basically, what happened was that the person that was dispatching exit sent the coach early, and then the person that was dispatching the entrance position kind of freaked out and tried to get rid of the coach that was in the station. And when they did that, they pressed a dispatch button, which caused the rear platen brake to lower, which allowed that coach coming in to just run right over the platen brake into the back of the coach in the station. So it was actually that same, it's like the lack of control system in the ride. Basically, they found a little quirk that when you press the one button, it drops the platen and allows it to go forward and then run into the coach in front of it. So that is the official explanation of what happened. Thank you to the Next Outing for clearing that up for me. I appreciate that.
And she was the one who came up on the other one and stopped the train from dispatching. And now she thought that because she hadn't moved it forward, that the reason why they don't send multiple around the track is because obviously it has no system. The system is only one car goes out on track because there's no like block brake system or anything like that. So that's why they do it this way.
So if we keep that in mind, you have the load station. So if it has no block control system, then yeah, you can't count the lift because the lift would not be a block because it's got no proximity sensors on it. So you have the station, which would be a block, that goes to the lift, it goes to the run track, but those aren't blocks. And then you have that unload station, which is manned, which is an actual block at that point in time. And then it looks like that platen brake, when it works, it's automated. So that would be 3. That would be 3 total positions, which means that in this case you could have a maximum of, you could probably do 3 cars on there, but you have nowhere to go. You're relying on, once you dispatch from the station, you're relying on taking the one off that platen brake and then moving the other one from the unloading area. And you have to make sure that unloading area is clear before that loaded coach gets back in there. So, realistically, if there were 3 blocks, you could only have 2 vehicles on there, which is what they're doing right now. So as the stats he pulled up before, it said it had 5 coaches originally. I don't know how they were doing that with no control system.
The way they've been loading it, whilst they've been waiting, you could just have 1 car on the track. There's no benefit to having 2 anyway. So that collision would have never happened. It's odd. It's just very, very odd. The ride itself, you remember 1984, it's a Jetstar Schwarzkopf, really smooth, really intense. The helixes and the banking, like you hit it with some gusto. But it's
That's the one thing I have to say. If you've ever been through Schwarzkopf rides like that have good banking to them and stuff, they got some really nice G-force in there. Some of the good old-fashioned G-force where you actually get pushed around.
It's great. The coaster is great. And actually, all the staff, when you speak to them, they are nice. They're very happy and friendly. It's just some of the stuff is like policy-based. Like, you can't do this until this. Fine. That's not their fault. But yeah, they seem nice enough. It's just we had the same person operating both rides, and both times has been, not great. So they've now done a shift change, and he's now loading it how it should be loaded. So you're ready to go as soon as I'm in.
Yeah, it was just the way she was loading it.
Yeah. What do you think? I think it's great.
It was really good. I liked it. It wasn't
a bit
rough.
unsafe, but it's fine.
It's a bit unsafe.
So why would you have 2 operators loading a ride different ways each time? That doesn't make any sense. Someone was doing that wrong. Whether it was the girl or the guy, someone's doing that wrong. If that's the case. And if the park's like, oh no, you could do it either way, it's like, why? One way you kind of keep people moving through there, the other way is slow. Like, why would you do something like that? That doesn't make sense.
Rough, but painful.
I like how it's a big gap under this fence that most kids could just climb under. See that?
Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh. Okay. Well, that's a problem by itself. Is that just an optical illusion? Doesn't look like it. Man, that looks like that is a full out gap right there. So when you make a fence to restrict an area like this is supposed to be, the standard that's used universally everywhere, especially here in the US, is a 4-inch ball, which means you can't have any opening that a 4-inch diameter ball cannot fit through. So, I mean, that looks like there's a foot, easily a foot. Sorry, we still measure in the king's foot out here, but that looks like between 300 and 400 millimeters, or 30 and 40 centimeters, or 0.3 and 0.4 meters, because the metric system makes sense.
Right, should we go on Cornball Express?
Absolutely no standing. Got it. Remove all gum, mints, and any other substance from your mouth. So they're really worried about people choking on this ride. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a sign that called out gum and mints. Is this going to kill people? We'll find out today. Looks like some old PTC trains.
Apparently you can dispatch the train with people on the station here. I've never seen that. In America, somewhere else. Or if the station platform's miles back.
It all depends on the procedures that the park is using. So there's plenty of parks. I go back to the place where I see the most crowd control and stuff like that in places like Disney. Disney will put a second yellow line there. And they're like, as long as the guests stay on that side of the yellow line, they're fine with it. But when you go into other parks that aren't as strenuously controlled, or where the state doesn't have as much oversight and they haven't had as many accidents, it might just be, yeah, you're fine, just wait there. And then the operators just watch them, and then if they try to go jump in the train while the thing's moving, they stop the train. It could be something really simple like that. This doesn't look great at all, but honestly, if the park's procedures allow them to do that, then they're probably fine. Maybe.
They're just a child next to the train.
I mean, that's a good point. That's a child standing there. Adults are one thing, child's a different thing, but I mean, a lot of parks do allow stuff like this to happen. As long as they're just tell them, yeah, just stay away from there.
And just from a safety perspective though, GoPros are not allowed. But everything else we've seen today, fine. But not a GoPro, that's insane.
Back to the station. They're still standing there.
That was intense.
I really liked that.
I liked it. What was it?
I do have to say, living in California, being near all the California parks and seeing how everything's done there, working with the state, knowing how all the procedures have to happen and all the controls in place, it was quite an eye-opening difference when I came to other parks here in the Midwest and some other parks even further back east. Just at how much more control they gave individual people. Like in California, it was like, you can't let anybody do anything because they're just going to get hurt. They're going to get hurt. They're going to get hurt. And then, out here in the Midwest, it's like, well, we let people just stand there. Well, what happens if they get hurt? And then they're like, well, they won't get hurt. It's like, yeah, but what happens if they do? And they're like, well, no one's gotten hurt yet. And that's just been the status quo. It's like, okay, it's kind of one of those things. It's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So it's one of those things that's like, well, if no one's gotten injured there in forever and they just allow them to stand on the platform, then let them stand on the platform. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with reasoning like that, because they're like, you know, you're sitting there going, well, common sense says don't let them do that. But at the same time, they're like, yeah, but we've been operating this thing for, make up a number, we've been operating this thing for 30 years and no one's ever gotten hurt doing this. It's like the safety part of me pops in and says, yeah, is today going to be the day? Like, one's unacceptable, right? I don't know. I don't like it when they let people just roam about places. It's not good in my opinion.
So literally, in a
Is this an
tucked away
SNS?
spot. Oh, is this isn't open at the minute, is it? There's lots of engineers.
This looks like an
Well, there is
SNS.
no queue for it, and it's going to be one car, isn't it? Obviously. So if we see this open, we should run to this maybe. In
I
the back,
see a
though,
mechanic
is the
down there.
All-American Triple Loop. You know why it's called All-American? Because it used to be at Flamingo Land.
I not only saw a mechanic, but then I hear beating from coming down there. That's common on a lot of rides. You hear something clanking away underneath the train. Bang, bang, bang. It's like, yeah, what are you trying to fix underneath there? Hammer Mechanics.
There's a few facts about this. So, oh my God, you've got one of these. Did you ever go on this at Lightwater Valley? Yeah. Camelot used to have one of these. Excalibur 1 used one of these. These things are pretty, if it's open, they're pretty intense. Yeah.
That's interesting looking.
So this was at Flamingo Land, the All-American Triple Loop. And do you know, like I was telling you about that coaster in Canada? I think it was Canada. It was a Schwarzkopf and it crashed.
Yeah, back train came off.
The back train detached.
Yeah,
Do you know
that
the
was a really
Well, that's
bad
closed now,
accident.
Mindbender. Guess where the trains went? On here.
Oh, nice.
Yes, this is the old Mindbender trains. I mean, it looks fantastic.
Oh,
Oh, looks like they're installing this. Look.
nice. Sounds like they're starting up that
It's a
SNS.
shame that you're not going to go on it because this is a big queue.
I love those Schwarzkopf curved hills. Curved lifts. Those things are something else. Absolute pain in the butt to
You can tell 'cause
maintain.
everything's
Holy
built for a
crap.
longer train. Can you see there's loads of gates?
Here it comes.
The operations on here are genuinely abysmal. Like, it's just so slow. Everything about it is so slow.
Is she gonna wait in the station
Easily
too?
5-minute dispatches. But wait till
5-minute
it's mounted up in a minute.
dispatches?
Jesus, it's like it's taken off. I don't know if it'll do it justice on the phone.
Guys, we have a 59-inch height limit. Just
59?
Make sure that you have a, if you're over 55, if you're
55.
below 55 inches, you can't ride. If you're over 77 inches, you can't ride. So that's about 59 inches.
Wait, he said 59, and then 55, and then 59 again. 77 max. Did I hear that right? Let's go back and listen to that again.
We have a 59-inch height limit.
59,
Just make sure that you have a,
59,
if you're over 55, if you're below 55 inches, you can't ride. If you're over 77 inches, you can't
55,
ride. So
77,
that's about 59.
59.
inches.
Can you introduce a little bit more confusion into this? I mean, holy crap. And I like how you got one guy that's under training, another guy that's standing there, and then the other guy's checking restraints. I
Clear on
mean,
that?
can we make this a little bit more inefficient? If possible, please.
You ready for this?
Send it
Say
already.
it's about to start, Lewis, but
Come on.
there's no access in the outbox yet.
My computer's almost out of space to make this video. It's taken so long. Holy crap.
Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it.
Clearly no one's in a rush here. Yep. 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59 That sounds very, very loud. They running one train on this? Is there another train?
Also, look, there's literally bits of another track over there. I've no idea what that is.
Looks like track.
See it?
Track to something.
That looks like a loop on that side. And then you've got a bit of a rip saw over there. A top spin.
Yeah, that looks like a topspin gondola.
No, it's pretty beefy track, isn't it? It's a shuttle loop. It's been here for 2 years, and just like that. Apparently it took them 3 years to build this, though. And then it took them 3 years to load it. Considering
It took him 3 years to load it.
That needs to be sewn up and put in the bin. There's quite a few of them where they have a similar layout. They're not the same, but they are similar. Round, lift hill, big drop to the right. I've done loads of them. Obviously, I worked on Nightmare back in the day.
Yeah.
Olympia looping. There's quite a few of them now. They are all silky smooth. That is terrible. Operations are genuinely boggling on how bad they are. The staff on there. The staff. Oh, here they are. Do you enjoy your ride as well?
I genuinely can't even.
Nikki said something in the Q&A, and it couldn't be more right. It feels like today we're at work and it's something we've got to do. Do you know what I mean? Rather than actually having an enjoyable day.
That's cracked my jaw.
I've never been on one of them that's rough, ever.
He said, I've never been on one that's rough. It's like, I've only been on ones that are rough. Like, the Schwarzkopf I went on that wasn't rough. I've been on 2 of them. 3, technically, but 2 of them are clones of each other. And that's the Six Flags Great America, and also Great America when I was younger. It's the Wizard. That's one of them. I don't remember the trade name for that ride, but that's Schwarzkopf. And then a shuttle loop, Schwarzkopf shuttle loop, both the flywheel and the weight drop style. I guess it's 4 of them. They're perfectly fine. They're smooth. Nothing wrong with them. The one that was like this, it was a traveling model. It had 5 loops. That was 4 vertical and 1 corkscrew in the thing. It's like, yeah, that one was, like she said, that was really rough, and you can get hurt on it a lot. In fact, people did get hurt on it a lot. That's why the ride had to go bye-bye, because there was too many complaints and injuries on it. That sort of thing, too. People knocking their head back and forth. Those over-the-shoulder restraints that they put in there did not help. It should have just remained a lap bar.
I'd take Hades 360 3 times over compared to that.
On the end, like that.
Here on the end.
Lewis just said he's never heard me make that noise.
Oh, I could hear you behind me. I got on the train before these guys because I was like, I'll just get on it because I'll get some off ride whilst you're waiting. And the staff on there.
I got a video of 3 minutes of him just sitting in front of the computer. 3 minutes of him sitting in the control box, just
going straight into this.
Just looking at the buttons, pressing them, and then going.
3 minutes looking at the buttons, trying to figure out how the ride works. That's not good.
The staff on there, and also doing the maintenance guys. Can you please
stop? The maintenance guy came and did all of their work for them when they arrived.
The maintenance guys were like, guys, can you make sure you're checking for glasses and bags? Because if they end up in my wheels, we'll have a problem.
Yeah.
They've got a problem anyway.
They've got a problem. They shouldn't be. The problem is when they're that bad, it then puts all your concerns of like safety checks and everything else. If you're just bad at that, what else are they bad at?
That's a good point. Like, yeah. So for the ride operators, it's uncomfortable to reinforce the rules. Just like everybody, people don't want to do it. It's not doing it's like the lazy way out, but that's what people do all the time. So it's one of those things. It's unfortunate, but the ride operator role, it's like you have to be the enforcer. You have to be the bad guy. Say no, all that stuff, then you can't allow that on there. And I know a lot of ride operators are just like, well, if it falls off, it's their problem because we told them not to bring it on there. We're not going to go get it. We're not held financially responsible for it. But then on the maintenance end of it, the maintenance end is like, yeah, but if it gets caught up, just like he said, if it gets caught up in my wheels, I'm going to be upset because that will flat spot wheels. It will get in there and wrap itself around the axle housing and stuff. We've had to cut stuff apart on roller coasters with Sawzalls. Like, we had to cut stuff apart to get fabric out of wheel assemblies. Like, it is ridiculous how tight it can wind up inside there. So I totally get it. But yeah, the operators, they were like first and last line of defense and keeping a lot of that stuff out of the train assemblies.
It feels like at this park, nobody cares.
Yeah.
None of the rides are looked after, none of the staff care. It's bad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a pleasant place to be. The queues are.
It feels like a health and safety nightmare.
We laughed about it at first. There was little bits and bobs here and there, but
Yeah, we saw a coaster crash today.
yeah.
No one was in it, but it did
Thankfully.
crash, and it did something it's not supposed to do. But the staff were there, when anything goes wrong, it's all even when we got out, I had to kind of say, because everyone. So what happened is I got in, loads of people left the queue line. People got off the train and weren't told to wait. So I was like, well, I'm not queuing up again. I want to wait here. And only with me saying that, he said, oh, you can wait at the bottom and I'll let you back on. But obviously the maintenance guy came, pressed one button and it started
I
again.
heard the maintenance man say you need to let those people back on. They've waited an hour.
Yeah,
Like,
literally.
And the guy said, what, really? You sure? The guy got off and told you to wait over there, the one with the actual operator in the red shirt. When the guy was like,
You need to let these guys
the
back
guy was
on.
like, you need to let these guys back on. He was like, really? It's like, why? He was like, because they've not ridden the ride.
They've waited an
They
hour.
just waited an hour for it.
They got a lot of good points that they bring up and they talk about and like all these things. It's like, at the same time, it's like, this is messed up. That's messed up. They're not doing this right. They shouldn't be doing that. Let's go to the next ride. I think it's funny, but at the same time, yeah, let's go to the next ride. Yep, this is an SNS El Loco. I was joking around about it earlier, but I literally ran out of memory space on the computer while I was recording this. That's how slow operations is. So I had to pause and come back the next day and get back into this video because I ran out of storage. Anyways, let's get back into it. Sorry. There's an air leak again. Got air coming out of everything on these rides.
This is also on one train. 4 seats. Apparently this does have a better throughput than that one because they're dispatching these more often than the other one.
You're kidding me that they're running if I'm looking at this properly, that's a SNS El Loco style at least ride, and they're running it on one coach. Like, that is, holy crap. Come on. At least, I mean, bare minimum 2.
I've just been saying off camera that for Nikki's got this superpower, and I do think it's a superpower. Even if she has a really rubbish day, she can still find the good in it, and today she's just done today.
She's
That's
done.
how bad the day is. I moan all the time, but Nikki doesn't.
That's kind of how I felt when I visited Elitch Gardens. Just everything was stacking up on me that day. It was just like, oh my gosh. And then the slow operations on top of that did not help. So I truly understand where you're coming from. And that slow operations just is the crappy icing on the crappy cake.
So we'll, off-ride wise, normally we go on it, I stand around for 10 minutes waiting for the next train, and then these two, Lewis takes pictures, but Nikki's ready to roll. I'm just gonna, the off-ride footage is what it is today, so I apologise, it's not gonna be great, but we cannot wait to leave this park.
I feel bad for that as well. When I go to the amusement park with my son or, anybody else, It's always like, hey, let's go from this ride to the next one. And then I'm sitting there like, hold on, I want to get a shot. And you have no idea how long it takes between cycles until you're standing there waiting for the next cycle just to get one like little 4-second clip of video or something like that. And especially if they're running like 5 minutes between cycles. Oh my gosh.
Got on that because it's easier to do that than Nicky and Lewis on the next train. It's slightly smoother. Even that feels like a badly maintained one of them. Like, it batters you a little bit more than most of them.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, I still would rather go into the ones at like Flamingo Land, and it's miles better. One in Las Vegas is better. I think that's my favourite one, the one in Las Vegas actually. I've got a log flume. I think it's a 1-drop. Yeah, I've got one. There's also a space shot. We'll go for a walk over there before we then start heading back to the right, back towards the car park.
I don't know about getting on a space shot at this particular place.
Fingers forwards and backwards.
Hopefully theirs shuts off.
Carpet. It's not Magic Carpet, is it? It's the other one. I can't remember. But yeah, it's the one where you all sit facing one way. Falling Star. Falling apart more like. These can be quite fun. Remember the one at Poland in Legendia? Really catching me off guard. Because you just get a little tiny lap bar. Also, the guys to one ride filming, everyone's on the phones and stuff. I just don't dare. I can't afford to lose my phone.
Is that ride making that sound?
In fact, there's a girl on there now taking a call. Look at this.
That's that ride making that sound. It looks very down here at the bottom. It looks very belt driven. It looks like the belts are squeaking, but that's nasty.
Yeah, safe GoPros aren't allowed, but you can get your phone out and the stuff. To be fair to the staff, none of the staff actually care.
Does not sound
good.
good.
Check the video. None of the staff actually care enough to tell you not to use your phone, I don't think.
Sounds like the motor's working hard. Oh boy.
If the staff don't really care, what does that tell you about how a place is managed? I think it tells you a lot.
Yeah, he's
staff, is it? It's
spot on there. If the staff doesn't care, then that's a sign of management issues. You can hear the genuine frustration coming out in this video, and I've watched other videos by the next outing, and this is not the standard video. Normally their videos are much more upbeat, let's going, but like I think this is a perfect storm of events. You have just bad everything cascading one thing right after another, and it's just wearing them down. Unfortunately, bad days. You know, we all have bad days. Even the park has bad days. I've had days where all my rides were up and running and there was no problems. I've had days where I averaged 10 rides down and I was there for 15 hours and the day was horrible.
2 more coasters to go, guys. Let's keep going. Let's have a great day.
2 more hours to go.
2
Come
more hours.
on.
Yeah, just 2 coasters, but 2 more hours. Right, we're going this big woody now.
As Larry the
I can't
Cable Guy
remember
would
the
say,
name of it now.
gear
Nothing's going in
done.
anymore.
That's right, gear done.
Cyclone?
Yeah, Cyclone.
It is just called Cyclone. By the way, this whole area is out of bounds.
Oh no,
what?
this is Hoosier
Hurricane, the Hoosier Hurricane.
Hoosier Hurricane.
So we'll give that a go.
It's a CCI.
CCI.
Also, I've just seen
Who's
you
your
know, film
hurricane?
on ride.
Yeah.
You can answer a call though on a ride and just carry on.
Oh, so you can answer the phone, alright?
Yeah. Watch out for this water from this log flume.
Anytime you get water rides with steel structures around,
Yeah, climbing onto the truck is one thing, but also like normally, like with most stuff on this, here there'll be a foot guard, so your foot can never slip, or if you drop something, that's a long way.
oh, okay. Hey, where do I start here? Hey, OSHA. You remember that whole thing about that, 4-inch kickboard at the very bottom of the handrail? So you have an elevated pathway here. These people are greater than 3.5 feet off the ground, which is, I'm pretty sure 3.5 feet's the OSHA standard for elevated pathway. And then you have your, up here at the top of the screen is the top rail. This is the mid rail. And then they put a bottom rail down here. Not 100% necessary, but they have a bottom rail down there. And then there's supposed to be a 4-inch tall kickboard that actually almost meets the pathway down there. That's to prevent someone's foot from going out and over, because if you slide, slip, do anything like that, there was water downstairs. This is metal diamond plate, so this stuff gets slicker than snot on a doorknob. Trust me. If your foot were to slip, it would go right through that opening. And I don't know that you would necessarily fall through the opening, but you could easily break your leg in there. Like, what's that YouTube channel? OSHA, is this okay? Like, this is an OSHA standard. It's not like an amusement park thing or anything else. This is occupational safety and health that governs pretty much everything here in the U.S.
It's hard to kind of get across how far down that is.
Whoa, they're way up there. Wow. Wow, that looks about 15-ish plus feet. Wow. Wow.
It's not a small guy. I could literally.
If it was wet,
Yeah.
it'd be really slippy, like surface as well.
Moments later, we literally saw a small child climbing through these rails. Okay, let's...
Another ride, literally another ride. We're next on. We're not even trying now. We're not trying. We're not looking at this piece. See this piece here? Yeah. It's this piece. Now that's just fallen off. It's a knee guard, isn't it? Essentially.
I believe for those style trains, that is the it covers the unlock mechanism down there. I believe. I'm not 100% sure.
That sounded heavy. I want that to stop mid-ride. Also, it's almost some sturdy bolts on there. It's definitely that piece.
Hey, look at that. That doesn't even have a bolt in there. Screw, bolt, same thing. Oh, this I don't like. Oh, look at that. That's the anchoring fastener for the outside. That's the outside of the coach, the screw coming into the back side of the thing. And that's right there. You're asking, even though it's not that far away, it's probably about an inch, not that far away, but you're asking to catch something, whether it be skin or clothing on that thing.
Once again, we're not trying to find stuff. This stuff is happening literally in front of us on every single ride. Every ride. Right, all stopped again.
Oh my gosh.
We decide what's going on now.
You know, a former
2
boss
minutes now,
always
at
told
least
me,
2
said,
minutes.
never walk around with your hands in your pockets. It looks bad.
Well, this is surely a good sign, isn't it? You also didn't know the number 3 engineers. We're not trying to find it. It's just happening. We're trying to avoid it. We're trying to get on and go home. That's all we want to do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I want some crisps. I want a Fanta. You want a blood orange Fanta? So they call maintenance. He's just taking the big block back over. This is a day out that people pay for.
Could be like just leaking oil or something on his shoes or something.
Which is fine. Close the row off.
I know, yeah. I can understand what he's arguing about.
Yeah,
Like, he's saying,
I mean,
sit here 'cause
the piece has come out. Just
But then
block
the
that
staff will go,
row.
okay, you can leave.
You know,
They won't put you back in the
let the
queue
train
line.
go. Wait for maintenance to show up, and maintenance will determine
Luckily,
whether they need to
there is
remove the
a
train or they could do it
number
in
here.
spot. You know.
If this device appears to be improperly operated or maintained, call this number. There you go.
Let me write that
Yeah,
down
that
real
should just be
quick.
like-
Hold on.
Scan a QR code, off you go. Just so they can manage the number of calls. Obviously that's from like the state, it's not from the park. However, People need to be ringing it. What did he do? What did he do, Lewis? What did the maintenance guy do?
Came and tightened it back up.
With a posi screwdriver? Took literally 15 seconds, didn't it? Just so you know where the train's parking. This is where it's meant to be, and
Oh my gosh.
it was previous, wasn't it? But there's next this train. Honestly, it's so close to going through.
There's one where everybody then has to walk forward like
Honestly,
two
this
coaches to
place.
figure out which
Get it shot.
friggin' part of the
You will
train
not-
they're sitting
you
in.
literally couldn't write this now. So because some people went to the wrong row, and that's what's happened, isn't it, right? Rather than what? Oh, it's all chaos. Some people went to the wrong row, meaning some people didn't get. It's like musical chairs, wasn't it? Some people didn't get seats. So the
Oh my
solution
gosh.
was, rather than just ask two people to step back in line, everyone had to get out.
And then they're gonna do what?
When we were sat down,
Got to get the maintenance guy to come back.
The operator was saying on the left, she was saying, it's not parked properly, it's not parked. She only said that, by the way, once we got on it. She didn't notice straight away. And then he said, I don't know why that happened, it happens sometimes. I missed it because he's too busy telling my phone over there when I said it's in his zip pocket, which to be fair to him, he was okay about.
Okay, because
I'm glad he's
your roller coaster has what's called a dynamic load, if I'm using these words properly. The roller coaster has a dynamic load to it, which means that, you figure each person, when roller coasters are designed, they're designed at like 115 pounds a person. America, it's a little bit more, just because. But you figure basically 150 plus a person. So 2 people in the row. So you figure that's 300 pounds at least per row. And then times however many there are here. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7. Okay, so it's roughly 4,000 pounds worth of people. Now that could be almost up to 5,000 pounds of people, or that could be down at just like 1,500 pounds of people. That 1,500 to 5,000, that is the dynamic part. It changes. Weather changes, wind changes, everything changes. So this is the reason why brakes have to be set tight, because you need to be able to catch a light load as well as a heavy load.
That's what she said.
Well, this park doesn't have their brakes tight. They've got them set loose to make a nice gentle stop, which is good for loads that aren't really heavy, like 5, 6 people in the train. It stops the train great every time. But when you get a heavy loaded train, it slides right through those brakes, and this overshoots the home position. Unfortunately, the operator didn't notice it overshot the home position until they had loaded the next cycle. This is a problem by itself. Good Lord. So now I guess they have to call maintenance up and have them come out and probably adjust the brakes. If the guy says, oh yeah, it does this sometimes, again, that means that the brake is sitting there and it's going, I have this brake, cool. The brake is sitting there and it's going open, close, and then every once in a while it just goes like that and doesn't work, which means your crap is malfunctioning. You might need to go fix your crap. I genuinely feel the frustration coming through this video on their part. Again, they don't make videos like this. This is not their normal thing. I've watched a handful of their videos. This is not normal. It's this park. There's some issues going on at this park. I'm not sure exactly what the issues are, but they got some issues going on.
Rider safety. That's important.
Yeah, no
So we're still on it, we
GoPros.
sat in it.
No GoPros
Does
on
that
that.
count?
So
What are the odds now?
to work on the
odds are?
brakes, you have to move the train. You got to tighten those
No
things up.
recording.
No, I'm right.
No on ride, but yeah, it's fine. what are the odds now that's going to happen? That because these brakes are obviously set for a happy medium for a full trainer. That was obviously a very heavy train, right? Next car's going to finish back here.
This is what I was saying.
On the front. Okay, here it comes. Everyone
I need to buy this guy a drink if I'm ever around him, because it's like we're on the same wavelength here. Wow, that comes in fast. Holy crap.
Yeah, didn't I say it? Didn't I say it? Oh no, there we go, we're going again.
Okay, right there. It's got a very iconic look to it. I mean, it does have an iconic look to it, just on the water, the white wooden roller coaster. I mean, it looks nice.
But it's gone too far again.
It overshot again.
Basically, the train's just a bit heavier. They need. So what needs to happen is the engineers can come and just up the pressure on those brakes. That's all that needs to happen.
Kind of. Those particular brakes, they use air pressure to open the brake. Like this brake here, this is a like a Vekoma or a Aero style. So this actually uses air pressure in these bladders right here to close the brake, which is where an air pressure adjustment worked good, because when you need to stop the train harder, you just need to put more squeeze into that brake so it squeezes together harder, and then you take the air pressure out and release it. What they use is they use air pressure to release the brake, and then the big spring canisters on the side close the brake. So for what you have to do for those is there's adjustment bolts on them. You have to physically lengthen the screw out so there's more spring tension onto the brake as it closes. Same general concept, it's just more mechanical. It takes a little bit longer to do. A normal mechanical brake adjustment there would take about 10-ish minutes to adjust one brake.
But we did get on it, finally. If you're waiting from like down here, like Officer Log Flume, that's what, half an hour, 40 minutes? Say that again, Lewis.
This reminds me of Green, but worse.
Yeah, it's really expensive as well, Green, isn't it?
Yeah.
That train that's standing now is empty because it went too far again.
They were too busy high-fiving everyone as they get into the station.
I like how that's their solution. One train we run empty, so it stops in the right place. But what's confused is they're not understanding why. It's coming in faster because it's a full train. But they work
It's coming in faster and it slides through those brakes easier.
The coaster's alright. It's a nice coaster. I like the layout. One bit caught me off guard when we went over to the right. This cyclone is running one car on the entire track. I've never seen what this sort of type. I've seen it
always with the one car.
And you have
Always
to wait
one
for the rest to
car.
come in. But I've never seen it where they run one physical car.
What is it with this place and
this
one
is our last
car?
one, and we cannot wait. We cannot wait to leave. We're very excited.
I bet. And she looks like she's picking up a lot of red on the face, which means that she's got a lot of sun beating down. Now, this is one of the things I caution people against. It's nice it's overcast all day. So a lot of people don't use sunscreen when it's overcast because they're like, it's overcast. The UV radiation comes right through the clouds like it's not there. Even though you don't have the immediate radiation from the heat of the sun, you're still getting cooked with the UV. What the hell is that?
It was overheating, wasn't it? Well, they can't see a screen or something.
Yeah, there's some bluff.
The cardboard is a good system. I say thumbs up to this. Good fire.
We had a new ride we installed. It had a nice touchscreen display up there. We had the operators accidentally hitting e-stop on the thing. We get up there like, why are you hitting e-stop on this? Or why is it accidentally hitting e-stop? And they said, well, we looked at their panel and they had clipboards and stuff up just like that. And it's like, well, you can't see the panel because of the sun. Okay, I understand. Got the ride reset. We did that a handful of times, and then I had our weld department, which was a singular guy, I had a weld department make a big cover for the panel, so they no longer had to put things up there which accidentally fell and accidentally hit e-stops. And then the panel was shrouded from rain, and it looked professional once it was done. It was awesome. I recommend that if your ride is older than a couple of months, you do something like that and try to leave the cardboard held together by electrical tape out of the picture for this stuff. Just a hint, people from Indiana Beach, if that's your normal thing that you go to, let me know in the comments. Is this usual? Is this what you expect? Or is this really just a really bad off day for this particular park? Because I'm really curious at this point.
So very quickly, and when I say very quickly, I mean very quickly. We're going to walk to the bottom and then walk back. There's a little haunted house that we want to go through. Other than that, we'll then go back to the car.
Ooh, a haunted house. That's cool.
Some Dodge
Bumper cars, Stinger style.
It's very busy on there, the side
Typically
of the track.
roofs positive, floors negative.
So the water park is to the right. I'm not going to film the water park. Like I've said that many times before. This looks like it's very much closed, doesn't it?
Of course it's closed.
Well,
It's
look
got a
right
lift
down
hill.
A little space shop.
It,
When I say little, I mean little.
right.
Looks
I
like-
didn't know they made
looks like
ones
they
that
forgot to build
small.
the rest of it. But that's saying that, the ones at Silver Dollar City, you know, like, they're pretty good. I quite like them. We're not going to bother giving it a go
What?
because we
Like, literally, I didn't know.
don't want to live.
We had a fun time install our Starflyer. It was only 150 feet tall. And they were joking with us. They're like, I didn't know we could make them that small. Yeah, we just took the bottom and the top and put it together, and that's 150 feet. Kind of looks like that thing. It's like, I didn't know they made those that small. That's crazy. What is that, like a 60-foot model?
He got his camera ready. And you
Yeah, and it genuinely shocked him. It
Dropped
genuinely-
his camera.
So it made me
That's
really
interesting.
intrigued to see it.
make sure you haven't got.
It looks
That's
nice
the
on
thing,
the
yeah, I've got
outside.
like a nice grip on that. I bet it's got a better grip on his camera, so... If we can walk into it, we'll just go on it. If we can't, we won't. Looks like we can, though. It says not on wristband, but wristbands don't exist anymore. Oh, there you go, not going to do it then. Scrap that!
Totally understand that.
We've already said we're not.
I
doing it.
totally understand that. You know, you paid all that money for wristbands, you did all that other stuff, and you go there and it's like, by the way, all that stuff you bought doesn't matter. We need an extra, it looked like $350 on there. Nope. I'm out on principle. Just, it's either with the wristband or it's not. F off if it's not. Like, that's, especially after the day these guys had. No. This is one reason there's lots of amusement parks that do this, and they're also sitting there like, why are people so unhappy with our experiences? It's because you make the conditions miserable. You don't say like, oh, we're going to take water and all these basic necessities away from people, and then, you know, turn out, oh, people are going to be happy about this, that they're going to have to pay $3 for a bottle of water or $5 for a bottle of water, or we could sell them a souvenir cup for $190 and they can come back all year long. They're not happy about that. Let them bring their water bottle in. It will save you money in the long run. It's like, applaud Disney for doing that stuff. As long as you can, you know, I believe you start the day with an empty water bottle so you can get through security. And then you can hydrate as much as you want while you're there. And guess what? You don't pass out in the middle of the day. Works wonderfully.
Literally a tiny kid once again go to these railings. It's terrifying, isn't it?
Look at that. There's no more tow boards around there.
How does
That is
everyone
crazy.
end up dead every day.
How are they not actually serious? Like,
I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe we just haven't seen it.
It's basic. It's basic OSHA stuff. That's what I don't understand. It's like, has OSHA never visited this park? Has their insurance company never visited? Well, you know, judging by the some of the stuff, yeah, their insurance company's never visited.
Every day they come and do that.
Well, there you go. The next outing. What'd you think? Like, oh my gosh. You know what the crazy part about this was? That wasn't even the whole video. There was more. There's more of that. Oh my gosh. It was crazy. There's obviously going to be a lot lost during editing to this. And purposely, I don't want to do their whole video. I want to do their whole video, but I want to give you guys something to go watch. Because there's a lot of points in that video that's just like, what the heck? Seriously? It's like, yeah, that happened. So what do you think? If Indiana Beach is your normal thing, is this usual? Is this to be expected? Always one train operations. Operators seem to have a very lack of training in this. They don't seem to be trained at all for this sort of stuff. They seem confused. The process is slow. Not a lot of good things to say here. This is where I like looking in the comments, though, because I typically get a lot of like, nope, that was a one-off, that was a fluke. I go there all the time, it's fine. Which, helps build confidence back up, because it's like right now, I've never been to this park, but my confidence is pretty slow. It's very small. It's right there next to Mount Olympus. Like, that's not a good thing in my book. That's not a good thing at all. Anyways, if you haven't, make sure you like and subscribe. Do all that stuff down there. It helps me out, and I do appreciate it. Make sure, again, you go check out the next outing. Their channel is really good. It's definitely one of those channels that I'm watching right now, because it's like, yeah, they've got a lot of good stuff. They did the whole America tour. They've got a lot of good videos on there. They have a lot of good content, and their production's pretty good. So go check that out for sure. If you want to contact me, you could always just leave a comment down there. I try to look through and respond when I can. You can always email me, although sometimes I get pretty backed up, RyanTheRideMechanic@yahoo.com. And as always, please stay off those air gates. Bye.